everybody. Happy Monday. I'm feeling a little bit better, still really congested, but I'm gonna power through. I wanted to show you guys one of our favorite desserts. If you have been following us for a while, this is a recipe that you've definitely seen before. It's the chocolate donut recipe. Dan and I really like dessert. We're just dessert people, and when we don't have an option for a keto dessert, it is the most often time that we'll derail because we just feel like we want a sweet treat. I know there are a lot of people that will tell you like, oh, your sugar cravings go away completely and blah blah blah, but they haven't for us. We still really like a dessert. So I wanted to show you the chocolate donuts. If you've never made these before, they're a very, very easy, delicious recipe. This is not one of those baked goods that you're gonna make and feel like you wasted ingredients because they're not delicious. They're definitely delicious. I normally add sugar-free chocolate chips to the mixture, but I don't have those today. So we're just gonna do the basic chocolate donuts, and I'm actually going to add a little bit of one of the newer one-on-one flavors that I got, which is O's cookie. O's cookie. You picking up what I'm putting down? There's a little Oreo flavor happening for these donuts, so I'm super excited to make them. Let me show you what you're gonna need, and then I'll get started. Yes, I'm still wearing my Ketoginja sweatshirt, don't judge me. First, donut pan. This recipe will work as muffins, it will work as mini muffins. I like it best as a donut recipe, and the ingredients will make 6. Okay, gang's all here. Here's what you're gonna need. 1 cup of almond flour, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, a little pinch of salt, 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder, unsweetened, and then a heaping 1/3 cup of sweetener of your choice. I'm gonna use erythritol today. Then for the wet ingredients, 2 eggs, 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla, and any other flavoring of your choice. We're gonna use this O's cookie by One-on-One Flavors. Then a 1/4 cup of unsweetened almond milk, and 1/2 cup of melted butter. That's it. Okay, so first you're gonna whisk together the dry ingredients, which is 1 cup of almond flour, a heaping 1/3 cup of sweetener. You can use more or less depending on how sweet you want it. 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder. I go a little heavy with those because we like it really chocolatey. 2 teaspoons baking powder, and just a sprinkle of salt. Okay, now whisk your dry ingredients together and then we'll add the wet ingredients. Okay, now in a separate bowl, we're gonna whisk together all of the wet ingredients and then we'll add them to the dry, and it's that easy. So 2 large eggs, a 1/4 cup of unsweetened almond milk, a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and then if you decide to add additional flavor extract, hold on Lincoln, now would be the time. So I'm gonna do about 15 drops of this O's cookie. So what I like to do is at this step, I'll whisk this together a little bit just to start breaking up the egg. And then I like to add the melted butter very, very slowly. Because it's melted butter and it's gonna be a little on the warm side, you can scramble the egg if you go too quick. So we're gonna whisk in the butter nice and slow. Just a little at a time. You'll definitely want to grease your pan a little bit. I'm basically using just a little bit of coconut oil, and I'm going to go in and grease each donut well very, very thoroughly. This is a non-stick pan, but I feel like everything that has almond flour in it is prone to sticking, so don't forget to grease the pan. Especially if you're gonna use a silicone donut mold, you absolutely have to grease it. I know that you don't usually, but with these, you have to. It's weird, but it's true. Okay, once your wells are nice and greased, you're gonna evenly distribute the batter into the donut wells. I'm not super strategic with this. I just eyeball it because that's just, you know, the easy way. A scoop isn't really going to help you in this situation, so I just use a teaspoon and try to get it as even as possible. Okay, you guys, I have a little bit of unsweetened organic shredded coconut on hand, so I'm actually going to add that to half of them. I can't remember if Dan likes the ones with coconut or not, so I want to make sure that I have a couple plain ones in case that's what he's after. This doesn't really add much sweetness because, like I said, it's unsweetened coconut. It just gives it a little bit of extra crunch and texture and slight coconut flavor. I think it's going to be really good with that Oreo flavored concentrate. Okay, so now these are, I'm tapping it a little bit just to make sure they're full. 350-degree oven for 20 minutes. Very important not to undercook these. If you undercook them, they will be crumbly. So you definitely want to give them plenty of time to cook. This is an adapted recipe. I always make my donuts with the original base of the Wholesome Yum blog donut recipe, and I've just added and taken out things, but that's kind of where I started learning donut recipes, so that's a good one to check out too. The cinnamon sugar donuts that we do really often, that's from Wholesome Yum blog as well. So I'm gonna let those bake for 20 minutes and I'll show you guys when they come out. If you are not on my Instagram and you missed this treasure, my friend Paula sent me a customized spoon and I freaking love it. It says Ketoginja, Keto Queen, and it's got a little tiara. Made my whole day. I love a birthday week. Okay, I just pulled them out of the oven. Mine ended up taking about 23 minutes because I really overfilled my wells. It will eliminate the hole, but what's really cool about when this happens is they'll come out like little tiny cakes. I'll show you once I flip them out. This part is always anxiety inducing. You just hope to God that you greased it well enough that they're gonna come out. And if you didn't overfill your wells, yours are gonna come out a lot easier than mine. Okay, so because I am impatient and I took them out of the pan too soon, I broke one. But that's okay, because they're gonna be delicious. And I don't care what they look like. All I care about is what they taste like. Don't worry about that little guy. We'll make Dan eat him. Okay, so that's it for the chocolate donuts. There's a lot of different variations. You could add sugar-free chocolate chips. You could do a sugar-free Nutella glaze. You could make a cream cheese frosting. You could do peanut butter. There are so many different ways to mix these up, but we're just going kind of plain today. I hope you guys had a really amazing Monday. And if you had the day off, I hope you did something fun. If you had to work, I'm sorry. Dan had to work too. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your night, and we will see you soon.